Hi, hello, welcome to my first ever reading vlog, question mark. I don't know if I want to call this a reading vlog necessarily because I've never done this and I just intend to at least check in with y'all every time I have a thought, which is very often, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to include everything or if I'm going to actually stop for every thought, but I want to do at least a couple of times because I am reading Breaking Dawn. Also, did you see my shirt? I feel so comfy and stylish. I am on Jake's POV right now, which I already don't like. I don't like him in any of the other books. So I already went into this like, what the hell? What the hell, Leonte? What the hell, LeBron James? What the hell, Barry? So all that to say, I am ready. I just know I'm gonna be so freaking annoyed by every single annoying thing that he does, which he does a lot. I'm gonna get comfy. I'm gonna bring you with me. And then we're going to talk about stuff. I did get the audiobook for all of these books while I'm reading because I do really enjoy immersive reading. I listen to the audiobook at the same time that I'm following along with the words in the book. The narrators are doing a really good job. It's the same female narrator from the other ones, but it's a new narrator because the other books don't have a different POV than Bella's. But obviously this one has Jacob's POV, unfortunately. I feel like I'm even more annoyed because the audiobook narrator is doing such a good job at actually portraying Jacob as annoying as he is supposed to be. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I already didn't like Jacob because of how horribly he treats Bella, how he does not respect her wishes, her boundaries. He does not respect the Cullens, even though they all, other than maybe Rosalie, really respect him, especially Edward. After Edward comes back from the whole, oh my gosh, Bella's dead, I guess I'm gonna go to the Volturi situation in Eclipse, he really is like, I understand that you have a relationship with Jacob and I wouldn't want to keep you from that friendship, but also I will accept that Jacob and the pack will keep you adequately safe, so I'm okay with stepping aside when you want to spend time together. Jacob has been a whiny little bitch this whole time, and the whole thing with the forced kiss was already horrible, but now he's found out that Bella is actually pregnant with a vampire baby or some type of vampire baby, and he's talking to Edward, extremely upset as if he has the freaking vampire baby in him. Edward is explaining like, we have tried to convince her to take the baby out, or at least to let Carlisle try to do anything with it, and she won't let us, is what Edward says. And Jacob opens his stupid ass mouth to say, won't let her? You understand she's just a 110-pound human, right? Just hold her down and drug her? Hello? At this point, I don't even want Renesmee anywhere near him. Hell no, I'm not letting you close to my child. The next chapter says, why didn't I just walk away? Oh, right, because I'm an idiot. Yeah, you got one thing right, Jacob. Congrats. 1 of 1. Jesus. Something that's interesting that I don't think, from what I remember, that they put in the movie is that the conversation between Jacob and Edward outside right after Jacob finds out that Bella is actually really sick because she's pregnant with a vampire baby is way longer. And also, Edward basically says like, whatever you have to do to convince her, do it, even if you want to share her. And I'm like, whoa. Whoa. She gets what she wants. If she wants a baby, after we figure out what to do with this one, basically, he's basically telling Jacob to tell Bella and trying to convince Bella that they can both share her, basically, and she can have Jacob's baby after they figure out the whole thing with this vampire baby, just to make sure she's alive. I don't know if that makes me like Edward more or less. I'm leaning towards more though. Bruh, he's so insufferable. Oh, come on, shut up, Bella. One thing you're not finna do is telling me shut up while I'm over here sick trying to fucking make my own decisions with my own body. And then he says, you can spout this crap to your bloodsucker, but you're not fooling me. You know you're not gonna make it. That's just one of the dozens of times that he basically disrespects the vampires that is her chosen family right to her face, even though she's asked him multiple times not to call them that. Disrespectful little brat. Bruh, and now they just randomly turn on Bella? Do you know who never turned on Bella? The Cullens. Do you know who's always there to protect Bella, regardless of Edward? The Cullens. I really don't like any of the freaking wolves, other than maybe Seth. Seth is a sweetheart. He started creating a relationship himself with Edward and the Cullens after the whole Victoria fight that Seth ended up being with, like, Edward and Bella at the top of the mountain or whatever. And that's why he left with Jacob when Jacob was like, I am the alpha. Whatever, Sam. Boo. And left, because not only was he so protective of the Cullens because he's created a relationship with them, but also because he's the nicest wolf there is. Bro, he's so freaking annoying, bro. Jacob is quite literally so obnoxiously annoying, it grinds on my nerves. Okay, I'm stopping here. It's midnight. So I'm on page 282. It's still, unfortunately, on Jake's POV. Actually, let me check how long it is. 360. No. 78 pages to go on Jake's POV. And then freaking finally we go back to Bella's. I could look and see at what stage we go back to Bella's POV, but I don't want to. I'm guessing it goes back to Bella's POV when she wakes back up as a vampire for the first time, which I think will be really freaking interesting. But honestly, not much has gone on other than Jake being an ass and the Cullens being super freaking nice. Bella's a little bit better because they figured out the whole the baby's thirsty thing. Everybody is extremely worried. It's really, honestly, really cute to see how protective and helpful the Cullens are around Bella. One thing I will say about Renesmee that I feel like is interesting, because I really don't think I clocked that in the movies, but I'm clocking in the books. Alice specifically says to Jacob that she hadn't been that close to Bella because the baby gives her a headache. It's almost like she's trying to see Bella's future and trying to see the baby's future, but she can't see anything. Alice specifically comments that it's interesting that she can't see the baby's future or Bella's future because it's so intertwined with the baby, and how similar that is to Alice now being able to see Jacob's future or any future that is super connected to Jacob. And she makes like a comment saying like, it's interesting, I wonder what is so similar to the fetus, because they don't like calling it baby, it's the fetus and you, I wonder what the similarities are. And Jacob, as always, is like, don't compare me to the bloodsucker, because apparently that's his favorite freaking word. But yeah, I talked enough and I'll check back in the morning. Hello, it is indeed the next day. I haven't read much today because it's been a long day, but I am getting ready right now. I'm gonna do some skincare. I figured I would put my headphones in and continue to listen to my audiobook. To be honest with you, I'm ready for Jacob's POV to kind of wrap up, but I don't know how fast that's gonna go. I'm gonna lock in right now. Bruh, I know I've said this before, but Edward is truly the only possible way. He puts every single like priority that Bella has in front of every other thing imaginable. Right now, I feel like the movie does a horrible job at that too. In the movie, Edward comes off as such a dick, yelling at Bella when she gets pregnant and she doesn't want to basically do anything with the baby. Edward is actually not hiding a bunch of things, but like trying to appease her in any way that he possibly can. Her calling her dad all the time and talking to him. Edward and Jacob, they're both talking about this right now. They think it's not really a good idea because it's gonna basically make Charlie suffer more when she has to disappear. And Edward's like, I do not care. I'll deal with the consequences afterwards. Whatever I can do to make her a little bit happier right now, I will do. And Jacob's like, that's stupid. Why are you appeasing her? And blah, 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 blah. Like, he's not a great person. Come on. No. That's perfect for me. I just got to page 347. Bella just had the whole trip, and then that starts the whole her giving birth, if you can call it that. But she tripped. They're alone. Birth starts because Carlisle, they're not actually hunting. They were hunting, but Carlisle's away because he's looking for more blood to come to bring back to the house because she's been going through them so fast. The baby's growing really fast. It's not as graphic as in the movies, but it's more spread out. Like, she suffered. Poor baby Bella. It just makes me like Bella even more. Like, she truly had the love for a child as a mom would have. And in the movies, I feel like we don't see that. It was kind of like something that she tripped, quite literally tripped onto. And here, no, like, she advocates for this baby. Like, they try so many different things. Renesmee in the womb is running out of space, but Edward hears that Renesmee is trying to not hurt Bella as much, even though when she was growing in the womb, she cracked like 3 different ribs of Bella's, and the pelvis, I think, cracked or something. Poor girl was going through it. I don't think I'm ready for this. And I thought the birth was gonna be in Bella's POV. We'll see, but I don't know if I'm ready for this birth. I don't know how graphic Edward going at her like a freaking corn in a cob will be. I'm unlocking for her right now. Oh, it's graphic. God, this is so much worse. Her body flopped, a fish on the sand. Bella's face was blank, unconscious. It was the wild trashing from the inside of the center of her body that moved her as she convulsed. Sharp snaps and cracks kept time with the spasm, so like all of her bones are breaking. Oh my God, bro. She's going in and out of consciousness, and it's not that Rosalie smells the blood and becomes overcome with thirst. It's because she refused to go hunting like the other ones because she was so like adamant of staying right next to Bella and doing whatever she wants. Oh no. She's cracking apart, quite literally. The spine? Wait. Bruh, I have maybe 10 more pages, and then I think she turns into a vampire, and this is bad. Jacob's doing CPR. Oh my God. Bruh, I wanna cry. So Renesmee already is born with teeth? Ew, why does that creep me out? To imagine a newborn being conscient enough to smile with teeth kind of freaks me out. You just came out of her room. What do you mean you have teeth? This feels so... Oh, I want to cry. I want to cry again. She's quite literally repeating to herself, Edward's depending on me. Jacob, where I promised them both that I would keep trying. And then everybody else, she keeps saying Charlie, Alice, Rosalie, Carlisle, Renee, Esme. And then she says, Renesmee, my baby, my little nudger. I had done it against the odds. I had been strong enough to survive Renesmee, to hold on to her until she was strong enough to live without me. Why have I not liked Jacob this whole time? But he's yelling at Bella saying, you stay with me, you promise, keep your heart beating. I don't like this man, but one thing I can always say is he loved Bella. Oh my God. You're not leaving me, keep your heart beating? Bro, if he's thinking that, I just know Edward is going absolutely insane right now. Edward whispers, Renesmee, it's a girl. Give her to me. I wanna cry. Oh my God. CPR again. Stay alive. Sing it. Take the baby. Throw it out the window. Jacob, please. Edward puts the venom in her heart and then says, keep it moving, he ordered. His voice was ice, was dead, fierce and unthinking, like he was a machine. I just know he's going crazy right now inside his little head. No. If I didn't know the ending, this would be absolutely insane to read for the first time with no context. Edward starts not biting. It says that he starts licking the cracks and the bruises all over her body, and the venom in his tongue basically starts closing the openings, ? So And he's doing that so that the venom that he injected to her heart stays in her body and start working shit out. And Jacob is still trying to do CPR, like Edward says, so that the venom with the blood start going around the whole body. And he says it feels harder, like the blood is congealing. He says I blew more air into her mouth, but there was nothing there, just a lifeless rise of her chest in response. I kept pumping her heart, counting, while he worked manically over her, trying to put her back together. But there was nothing there. Just me, just him, working over a corpse. Because that's all that was left of the girl we both loved. Bruh. If I didn't hate Jacob as much as I do, and if I didn't know the ending of this, I would be absolutely devastated right now. Ow! I knew it was too late. I knew she was dead because I didn't feel any reason to be beside her. The pool was gone. She wasn't here anymore. He thinks she's for sure dead because he doesn't feel the obsessive need to be right next to her. But it's not true. It's because Renesmee's not in the room anymore. And he has been imprinted, even though he doesn't know it yet. So he needs to be with Renesmee while Bella is about to be quote-unquote dead. But he thinks that's why he doesn't feel the pull anymore. Oh my gosh, the plot thickens. Oh, bro, I feel like I want Edward's POV of this, but at the same time I don't, because again, just Jacob's POV of him is already so hard. She's not dead, he growled. She was gonna be fine. I wasn't sure he was talking to me anymore. Poor baby. He's going basically absolutely insane, saying that this is gonna be his revenge. He's gonna kill the monstrous thing that killed his reason for living, Bella. If Bella survived, she would have hated me for this. She would have wanted to kill me personally, but I didn't care. She didn't care what she had done to me, letting herself be slaughtered like an animal. He's getting closer to Renesmee and Rosalie, thinking he was gonna, like, filled with rage that the little baby's heart is beating and Bella wasn't, and blah 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 blah. And he keeps saying that he feels the pull to finish his revenge, to finish his mission. Little does he know. Everything inside me came undone as I started to the tiny porcelain face of the half vampire, half human baby. From upstairs, there was a new sound, the only sound that could touch me in the endless instant. A frantic, pounding, racing beat, a changing heart. Oh my god. So he hears Bella's heart changing into a vampire almost at the same time that he recognizes that the pull that he feels towards Renesmee is imprinting. Okay, yeah. I kind of really like his POV now. I told everybody, I literally just posted a TikTok talking about how I feel like his POV is still insufferable and he's just being a whiny bitch as always. But that singular final page convinced me. Now I know that if she hadn't included Jake's POV, I feel like the imprinting situation would make zero sense to us as bystanders or to Bella, because now she's gonna be a bystander. God, this is crazy. Wait, there's so much to think about. She opened her eyes. Yay! She's a vampire, Bella. Yay! It was basically one full chapter, two chapters, question mark? No, one full chapter of Bella's transformation, and she was going through it, boy. It was excruciating pain, and the morphine that they injected when she was giving birth basically paralyzed her. All the other ones kept telling her like it's an excruciating pain, all I could do is scream, blah blah blah. When they were transforming from human to vampire, she couldn't. She was awake enough to feel all the pain, and she kept saying it's burning, I feel my veins are burning. And Edward was right next to her the whole time, and the way she kept fighting through the pain and the fire, counting Edward's breaths, that's cute as hell, bro. Why am I giggling? Carefully, Bella. I was too strong. Oops, I mouthed. He smiled the kind of smile that would have stopped my heart if it were still beating. Don't panic, love, he said, lifting his hand to touch my lips, parted in horror. You're just a bit stronger than I am for the moment. Hello, welcome to my couch. It is in fact a couple days later. I've read a little bit more into Bella's POV. I stopped just before volturi coming into the meadow, basically. They're walking in and I feel like shit's going down. I will say so far, I've mentioned this before, Vampire Bella is fucking awesome. There's no way that the movie Bella was able to convey so much emotion and so much fervor for her family, for her life, for protecting them the way book Bella shows us. She's about that life. Like, especially now, I just stopped at a part where the Volturi is basically just now starting to walk into the meadow, and Bella's like, now I am incredibly furious. I want to watch them burn. Like, she's about that life. I don't know how the fight is gonna go down. Obviously, I know it's not a really fight, it's a vision, but I don't know how in detail the book goes. And also, if you hear me stuffed up, my allergies and the pollen this year is kicking me down. I already have asthma. I already can't breathe to begin with. Like, somebody help me. Anywho, let's get to Vampire Bella. Kaya slapped the fuck out of Irina in the face? That's so disrespectful. Bella says it couldn't have hurt, but there was something terribly degrading about the action. Yeah. His body. This is too good. This is too freaking good. She became that bitch so bad when she became a vampire. And she knows it and she loves it and she's reveling in it. Like, she is incredibly upset that all of these people are making all this fuss about her family, about her people, the people that she wants to protect. And the fact that she's so protective that it basically becomes, I don't know if it's like an egg chicken type of thing. She is so protective, and that's why her power is to be a shield, or she is a shield, that's why she's so protective. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if one thing feeds the other. I thrust a shield forward the length of the clearing and exhaled in relief when I felt Edwin's brilliant light within my protection. Come on. Let's go. Bella's protecting everybody. Yeah. Bruh, this bitch Caius is ruthless, and not in a good way. He literally torched her with a flamethrower. I think they have some type of torch in the movies. This bitch is a flamethrower. It's even crazier. And as soon as he's done burning her alive, he smiles and says, now she has taken full responsibility of her actions. That's crazy. Like, the way that she has adapted and developed her shield in such small amount of time is fucking crazy. The reason why Garrett, he's able to hold her down, even though she's shocking everybody trying to get to Arrow and Caius because they burned her sister, is because Bella is able to manipulate her shield so well just to keep Garrett in the shield but not Kate. That's so cool. She's such a badass. Yeah. The Volturi care nothing for the death of the child. They seek the death of our free will. Yeah. I love you too, Jacob. You'll always be my best man. Edward leaned his head against the same shoulder where he placed Renesmee, Jacob's shoulder. Goodbye, Jacob, my brother, my son. The acceptance. Brother, all saying goodbye to each other. Come on, bro. Page 725, chapter 38, power. I think this is where shit's gonna go down. Jane is trying to get to everybody, trying to have somebody hurt, but she can't because Bella's protecting them. Yes! Bro, she's that bitch. Yes! Arrow's basically saying, there will be no violence, lie. There will be absolutely no reason for us to have to fight, lie. And then he says, there's so many of you that I would love to keep. There are too many options, lie. He was desperate to keep Edward and me, to imprison us. I was fiercely glad to be so powerful that I left him no way not to kill me. She's so bloodthirsty. I didn't know that. Bella. Edward's like, actually, bitches, I have something to show y'all. Edward was like, Arrow, would you ask Jane to stop attacking my wife? Wait. There is no fight.
there's no fight? There isn't a fight? The movie's added that there isn't in the books? I thought I heard something about the ending that only the movies have but not the books. But I didn't remember that was the fight. It's gonna make me cry. Bella ranges Renesmee back to her. Edward hugs them both together. And Renesmee says, I get to stay with you? And Bella says, forever. They're basically discussing everything now that the fight didn't happen, even though I thought it would. Anywho, they're discussing everything, and Edward is like, you should have seen how extremely scared of Bella all of them are. And Bella's like, terrified of me? And she's like, you don't see yourself how I do. They have never fought a fair fight, especially with Jane and Alec, but the only thing that was stopping all of them was you. That's it. That's it.